skiing is getting too dangerous.
Looking back at the gold medal run from X Games Big Air last year, 20 years young, Miro Tabinelli tossed the world's first double cork 2340.
The 2340, will we see the first freeskiing 2340?
I mean, visualize it for yourself, man. You're standing top of the drop and you got two skis strapped to your feet. It's minus 20 degrees outside. You're looking at a 100-foot takeoff where you got to clock in at least 80K an hour to be able to clear it to the back of this thing. And you got to pop off that thing, go for 2 flips while simultaneously spinning 6.5 rotations while grabbing your opposite ski's tail during the entirety of that rotation. Pull it out to switch right away and avoid the ICU along the entire process. And to make matters even heavier, X Games debuted a whole new qualifying finals format where Miro Tabinelli had to toss this world record 2340 not once but twice in the span of 30 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games now.
It hurts my brain to even just contemplate that rotation.
And then you got the runner-up, Matej Svancer, who tossed the world's first switch tail bud 2160, which is arguably nuttier than the 23 and for sure a bigger success than Apollo 11's mission.
For that switch tail butter off the takeoff. No way!
Insane.
One?
When you see the scale of these stunts and you break it down that they're truly human beings. I know in today's day and age with Instagram and TikTok, it's so easy to get complacent to what you're seeing. Somebody's tossing a quad every other day. It begs the question, dude, is there a ceiling when it comes to free ski stunts? And if so, what is it? Personally, I think ski tricks can go either one of two ways. One, add more spins or flips to your current stunt, or two, FSL, fresh sauce launch. Starting off with number one, spin to win, dude. Pretty self-explanatory. I mean, over the last couple of decades, judges have continuously rewarded athletes for adding another rotation or flip into their ski stunt. I mean, it's a huge reason as to why we've seen the X Games Big Air ski best trick, the gold medal winning trick at this event, go from a single off-axis 720 in 2001 to a 2340, a dub 23 in 2025. And I think that's a crucial thing to understand. The direction of free skiing is greatly dependent on what the judges reward and what they don't. Number two, dude, fresh new sauces. Since the sport's inception, but especially in the last 5 years, we've seen a heavy emphasis on new tricks that don't necessarily revolve around adding more flips and rotations, but instead focus on playing around with new flavors. Dude, I'm talking about testing out new axes, throwing butters on takeoffs and landings, new grab and shifty combos, and most recently, the spawn of the nuanced pullback movement. Newton's third law of motion, honey. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. There's a ski group out of Finland called Real Skifi who took this law to heart and started figuring out ways to toss pretzel rotations on skis with weights. They showcased 180s to pretzel 360s, nose dives to upright landings, you know, world's first that were just pure science. Now, I don't think FIS has any regulation or rule that specifically bans the use of dumbbells in a slope or a big air comp, but there's already a ton of athletes out there who have figured out how to pull back their rotation in the opposite direction that they're currently spinning just by purely using their hips and a little bit of internal sorcery, which adds to the overall difficulty and flavor of the ski stunt. And to the surprise of many, when pullbacks were first starting to debut on the world stage, the judges were actually handing out big points for it. Back in 2022, Canadian local Teal Harley brought out the switch triple 1620 pullback to 1440 at X Games Ski Big Air.
Is that motivating vibe that makes it so fun at any of these events?
This is the first time, if not one of the very few times this trick has ever been done. Teal sets 3 flips and 4.5 rotations off the jump, 1620 degree rotation, but instead of going with that momentum and pulling the rotation to 1620, he opens up his hips and holds it at 14, adding an incredible degree of difficulty to the overall trick.
Could be an improvement.
And this was a massive moment. It was one of the few times judges favored the innovative nature of the trick over the pure amount of spins that could have been possible. And even though it was still a triple 1440, you know, a massive rotation, the big takeaway was a new precedent was being set. You no longer had to throw the biggest spin to podium at an event.
And here, Matej Svancer.
Take Troy Millsack, for example. This guy won X Games Big Air 2024 for tossing a forward 2160, dude. 6 full rotations.
Attempt 2160. Troy Millsack.
Now, after mastering that spin to win pathway, he was looking at ways to change up his competitive approach to free skiing for the following season. He wanted another trick in his arsenal, and hopefully one that didn't require another 180-degree rotation on his already biggest spin. So he got in the kitchen and cooked this thing up. Looking at a flat 3 to a Pret 7. Spinning 360 one direction to the left and then a right side 720. This thing is an absolute friggin' mind melter that by definition defies Newton's third law of motion. Technically by far one of the most challenging tricks ever done in the sport of free skiing. So rightfully so, Troy goes ahead and debuts it at the first World Cup stop out in Switzerland. He stomps it, rides away clean, and the judges award him 91 points.
A 91?
91 points for what is technically just 3 full rotations. I mean, obviously they're tossed in one of the gnarliest ways known to mankind, but still, 3 rotations, 91 points. One of the highest scores received that entire night.
Troy Millsack with an NBD.
Now, this doesn't mean spinning and flipping your way onto the podium is dead. I mean, just look at the X Games podium from last year. Third place was a triple 21, second place was a switch tail butter 21, and the first place was a 2340. I mean, Troy even went for the 23 himself.
You're shaking. Are you nervous? Are you cold? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm absolutely terrified. I do not want to be doing these tricks.
On the outside of the podium, looking in.
But it does illustrate there is a real shift in free ski judging mentality. As an athlete, you can do as good, if not better, by creating and showcasing something of your own. Take a look at Alex Hall, the Big Air World Cup out in China back in 2023. He pulls out his textbook double cork 900 pullback and it hits the judges' bellies hard. And not to mention, he's also hitting these pullback variations switch now and also incorporating switch tail buds in the mix. 2025 X Games slope style. In the middle of his run, switch tail bud dub 7 pullback.
Does a little yoga morning.
2024 Big Air Kerr, Tormod picks up the silver medal for tossing a switch tail bud double misty 1260. Perfect mix of spin, class, and raw difficulty, if you ask me.
Löst auf dem Absprung auch früher aus. Werden's.
X Games Knucklehuck 2025 whips out the Screamin' Seaman Butter Bio 7. And the list goes on, dude, of examples where the big league competitive scene of freestyle skiing has awarded athletes who are focusing on stunts that don't necessarily conform to the spin-to-win mentality. But that's not to say we shouldn't appreciate the 1800s, the 1980s, the 2160s, the 23s, and dude, God forbid there's a 25. Those are all astounding tricks by human standards. I just think it's rad to see a different direction of free skiing getting the spotlight it deserves. And there's also a lot of other righteous human beings and skiers around the globe that are trying to give that different direction of skiing a platform. You know, you look at Ghibli, you look at Slush, all the different athlete invitationals going around the globe, JWI. It's a lot of chit chat. Where do you want to see skiing go, dude? Do you want to see the 25? Do we go all the way up into the 30s at some point? What is that? That's like 8? 8 full spins? What's 8 full spins? What's 8 times 360? Can I do, wait, I'm not using it. 8 times, no, I'm using it. Oh, that's only a 2880. Easy.